What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the project. I'm going to catch you up today in a really short video just to show you what I've been up to. Having trouble making good progress lately because my lift has been down. So it's just going to be a bunch of short little update videos I guess for a while until I get that fixed. So here's the lift. It's been like this for about a week now. I figured out what the problem was and I ordered the part. This was the problem in case anybody's curious. This piece here, the threads just totally got destroyed. They don't look that bad right now, but trust me, they are so bad I can actually slide this into the cylinder. I can just wiggle it down in and pull it back out. That's how much thread material is just gone off of there. So I ordered the new part, but they sent me the wrong one. So you can see the difference in width. This one is about a 1/4 inch different. So they sent me the right side, and I actually needed the left side. It was an honest mistake, and the company is super good to deal with, and really good customer service. They're taking care of it. So anyway, the correct part should be here tomorrow or the next day, and then I can put the lift back together, and then I can put the transmission back in the car, and then I can get to work on the drive shaft and start buttoning things up. So in the meanwhile, I've been working on wiring, trying to make as much progress as I can on figuring out the old wiring harness. So oh man, I think I probably haven't even told you yet. The plan was to build a wiring harness for this. As you probably maybe remember from previous videos, I forget. And I started in on it and I made about half of it. And then I realized that I do not want to do that. Basically, I determined that that project was bigger than I want to mess with. Not that I couldn't get it done, but that I was resisting doing it. Like I was dragging my feet. And I just realized, sometimes in a project, the whole project is big enough. I don't need big projects within the project. And building that wiring harness was actually a pretty large project within a huge project. And I want to get this car on the road and get it done. So I decided to abandon that and buy a pre-made wiring harness, which I have right here. Sorry for the terrible clutteredness of this table. I usually don't work like that, but I'm running out of space in here because the lift has got me messed up, and it's got my rack in the wrong place, and my table's in the wrong place, and the transmission should not be on that table. Usually I work on that surface. So everything's just kind of out of order right now. But anyway, I went back to Seems Legit Garage. Shout out Seems Legit Garage. And I just bought their pre-made harness. Pretty spendy piece, but it bought me a bunch of peace of mind because I know it's done right, and so I'm not going to be second guessing my own work. Should I have a problem later on, I won't really have to think, is the wiring harness the problem? Which I would have had I built the harness. Also saved a ton of time, and it's built better than I could build it. So yeah, that's this. This is the wiring harness, super nice. So I've been working with wiring diagrams, trying to figure out what goes where, trying to figure out where the shifter, which inputs and outputs the shifter connects to, where power goes to within this harness, and ground and all the other connections. So I've been working through that, and since I can't work on the chassis because the lift is messed up, I've been working on stuff like this. Also, I'm trying to figure out my gear display, my gear indicator. So for the last couple of days, that's really what I've been working on, and that's what I want to show you in this video. So here is the CAN display. This is, what do they call that, an OLED module. So this is the gear indicator. This will display 1 through 8, P, R, N, D, and it'll display gearbox temperature on the bottom at the same time. So this is the display that comes with this gear indicator display kit, which I bought from a guy named Lee Burley. He's overseas, he makes these. And what I'm doing is I'm sort of fitting it into the S13 gauge cluster. I've got 2 of these here. And so what I've decided to do is take out the take out the temperature gauge, which doesn't work anyway because I just use temperature reading on the laptop. And I haven't had a functional temperature gauge in this gauge cluster since I was on a stock ECU 3 years ago. So I decided to sacrifice temp gauge and put the gear indicator in that spot right there. So when I bought this indicator display, I purchased the 3D printed bezel that he sells with it. It was just a little upcharge to get that. And so what I did was I glued that thing on the back of the instrument cluster bezel, and then I filled in the little gaps around it with some black plastic that I actually cut off of like a Tupperware storage box. It happened to be about the right color and texture. So this will snap on there, and the gear indicator display will fit right there. Give me just a second and I'll show you a little better idea of what that looks like. Hang on. Okay, so that's approximately what it's going to look like. It's still got the screen protector on there, so that's why it looks like it's got an air bubble right there. But anyway, yeah, so instrument cluster is going to look like that, and it's going to be a nice gear indicator display right in there, and that will light up white. And then, of course, there'll be the glass, or plastic rather, over the top. So it's all going to sit in there like that and work out pretty good, I think, and look not OEM, but kind of better than OEM, I suppose. So I just wanted to show you that. I always like to integrate things like this and do the extra work to kind of make things nice and sort of integrate it into the car as much as I can. I just get a lot of pleasure and enjoyment out of going that extra step and doing that kind of stuff. I could have just made a bracket and stuck it over here in the vent or down here where the radio used to be, or literally anywhere. But anytime I get a chance to like integrate stuff in and build it in, it just really kind of gets me excited and lights me up. Those are the parts of the project that I find to be really just the most rewarding and fun. You get out here with some plastic and some glue and whatever, and you just cut, and it's like arts and crafts, and you try to just think about, hey, what's the coolest thing I could possibly do? You know, where could I put it which would be really, really cool and make it sort of OEM, but make people look at it later and be like, wow, I can't believe he did that, or how did he get that to work? That's the kind of stuff that I enjoy. So it's been a while since I've been able to do anything like that on this car. So just been having fun doing that. Here's my spare gauge cluster over here. But anyway, that's where I'm at on the project. Really, what else? Oh, wiring supplies. I've been doing a lot of car projects for a long, long time, and believe it or not, I have never used Deutsch connectors, and I've always wanted to, and I don't know why I never did it until now. They're not that expensive. So I just hopped on Amazon and bought this kit right here. This is the kit that I bought. That's the number. Just Google that number or search that number on Amazon, and this exact kit will pop up if you want this kit. This kit is just a whole bunch of 4-pin connectors. It's enough to do, I think, 8 4-pin connectors. So it comes with the male and female terminals, the little wedge locks, whoops, and the male and female terminals, so or plugs, these are called. Actually, that's a receptacle, that's a plug. These are pins, male and female. Anyway, so I bought all that, and I bought the tool. It takes a special tool to crimp these guys. Your regular crimping stuff won't work, so since these are round and they're solid all the way around, you need this guy right here. This seems to be the budget option. The official Deutsch tool, or whatever brand it is like 150 bucks or more. This is 30 bucks, and it worked really good. I used it today and made my first connection. So I actually made this right here. So this is my first ever Deutsch connection. Super, super, super happy with how it came out. These are really high quality parts, and you really feel like you're building something almost OEM level. Or actually, you really do feel like you're building something OEM level when you use this stuff. So definitely worth the money. Wasn't even that much money. So I needed this one, and then I also need, this is a 14, 16, and 18 gauge. I also need a 12 gauge, which I just ordered for this plug over here, which came with my harness. It takes these big old honkers right here for the power and the grounds for this ECU. So I needed a larger gauge tool than this, so I ended up I'm going to end up with 2 of these tools to make all this work. But yeah, so anyway, that's where I'm at. Upgraded my wiring setup a little. Super happy about that. Got my gauge indicator mounted, and I'm super happy about that. The wiring harness for this, by the way, will end up coming out of the case right here. I'm going to cut a little hole real nice and clean right here so the wire can come out. And then the wire will come out and become this connector, and then the other side of this connector will go down into the chassis, into the computer, and so forth. So that's how all that's going to work. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at, guys. Just little piddly projects, trying to make progress where I can. The car's out here just chilling, all locked up safe and secure, and I keep it under a wrap or under a tarp so the sap stays off of it. But yeah, new part for the lift should be here hopefully tomorrow. Now I can fix this daggum thing and get the car back in here and get the old transmission back up where it belongs. It's just sitting here chilling all this time waiting for me. I did get these fittings figured out. I guess I can show you that. These are for the transmission cooler. So this is fluid in and out. And to do this, you just need 2 fittings on the top and 2 on the bottom. They're identical. This is an 8AN O-ring boss. That's important. 8AN O-ring boss. So there's a rubber O-ring back here. And then on this side, it's 6AN, just standard male, 6AN coming out. And then this is a 6AN swivel to barb. So swivel to barb, 6AN female, and then 6AN male to 8AN O-ring boss. And now I can just slide on a rubber hose that I already have in the chassis from my 4L80, and transmission cooler should be done at that point. So that's where I'm at with that. Got to figure out a drive shaft solution. Haven't figured that out yet. If I can find one at a decent price, I'm just going to buy a 2015 Challenger stock drive shaft and take it to the drive shaft shop and say, hey, this is a drive shaft. Cut off the back, put on the 240SX back piece from my old drive shaft, and then shorten it to the right length. That might work out. If that doesn't work out, I'm going to have to buy the Sonax adapter. Sonax makes a piece that bolts on right there and then converts into a U-joint. And then the drive shaft shop can then build from the other side of that U-joint out to the rear diff. But in that case, they're going to have to build in a sliding joint. So it would be like a male-female spline shaft. And so I don't know how that's going to work, but the Challenger OEM drive shaft would already have that built in. So it might be cheaper just to buy a junkyard shaft and have it modified. So got to look into that. But anyway, I will do that once the trans is back up in the car. And I'll do that once the lift is back up and running. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much what I got for you right there. Let me know if you have any questions. Comment down below. I reply to everybody there. Otherwise, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers so that I can turn on certain features they give you. And they turn on ads also. But they give you some other features. I forget what it was. I think they allow you to make posts on here instead of just videos. I think they also allow you to make shorts or something else. But anyway, trying to hit that mark. So if you're into this, give me a sub. And otherwise, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.